So let me kick off by introducing our panel. Hilary, Benn, Secretary of State. Next to me, Peter Kendall from the NFU. And then we have Gareth Morgan from the RSPB, Helen Phillips from Natural England. We have Henry Aubrey-Fletcher from the Countryland Business Association and Paul Leinster from the Environment Agency. And the reason we have all these partners here for this this session briefing will become clear as we go along. And so I'm going to kick off by asking Hilary Benn to introduce.
Well, Andrew, thanks very much indeed. Good afternoon, everybody. As I think you'll probably be aware, we've been working for some time with all of our partners, and I'm very glad to see a number of them represented on this table today, along with FWAG, LEAF, the AIC, and the Game and Wildlife Conservation Trust, to agree. We have jointly decided on an industry-led campaign to resolve the long debate there's been about what do we do about set-aside, which has been running, frankly, for 2 years since it was set at 0%. Now, I think that this is a groundbreaking agreement, and I think it's a very significant moment for farming, because without regulating, and that's been an important part of the debate, we jointly, in partnership, have set ambitious but achievable targets to help farmland, birds, biodiversity and water quality. Now, under the new agreement, farmers will do three things to start with. Double the uptake of agri-environment entry-level scheme in-field options, covering 40,000 hectares on top of current levels. Secondly, increase uncropped land by 20,000 hectares from January 2008 levels. And thirdly, seek to improve the environmental management of at least 60,000 hectares of that land. And fourthly, introduce voluntary measures on other land covering at least 30,000 hectares and up to 50,000 hectares. And we will have a baseline survey done in the autumn to let us know what's there, because then you can calculate what is the additionality that this campaign is going to deliver. And I want to thank first of all, Don Curry, who sadly can't be here today because he's out of the country, who, as you know, has chaired the high-level group that has been working on this for a couple of years, since the summer of 2007. I want to thank all of the other partners. I want in particular to welcome the commitment and trust that the NFU and the CLA and others have shown in reaching this agreement, because Peter and Henry looked me in the eye and said, trust us to do the right thing. Well, that's exactly what we're doing by having reached this agreement. And in return for that trust, I think every single one of us expects to see really positive gains for the environment. And it's a clear challenge to all farmers from the industry and from the government together. Now, this is not going to start from nothing, because of course farmers are already doing a very considerable amount. When one looks at the 2/3 of English farmers who already have put part of their land into agri-environment schemes, in addition to the voluntary action which is already being taken to encourage bird life and greater biodiversity, and every single one of us on this platform and all of the partners to this agreement recognise that we need to do more. And I look forward to seeing farmers responding to this challenge and to farmland bird numbers recovering, so that we don't have to consider a regulatory approach in future. Because as I said at the NFU annual conference in February, in the end I didn't have a fixed view about how we do this, and I didn't. And I've demonstrated today that that was the truth. What all of us are interested in is doing the right thing to deal with the problem and to support farmers in their work, and that's what I think this groundbreaking deal does. That's enough from me.
Thank you, Hilary. Peter Kendall?
Peter. Thank you very much indeed. First of all, I'd like the microphone mic. First of all, thank the Secretary of State very much indeed for putting his trust in the industry to demonstrate that we can step up to the mark. There's been a long period of discussion on what we can do. The Secretary of State, we really do as an industry. As you said, we collectively looked each other in the eye and said what the industry is doing now, what we believe can be done, and the fact that you've given us the opportunity over the coming years to demonstrate that we can provide more, think smarter, work collaboratively together. And I think, and I look at the leaders of LEAF and FWAG and Game Conservancy Wildlife Trust, the experts in the fields to work with us to move up and actually deliver more is fantastic. I'd like to add to your comments as well about thanking Don Curry for the work he did in pulling us all together. This has been, often quite a challenging discussion to be had, but I do think, both with the Environment Agency, Natural England, RSPB sitting around the table, we've made ourselves work harder at looking at where the challenges lie. I think the scheme, and Andrew Clark from the NFU's sitting in the audience as well, the way we've worked really quite imaginatively, I think, to look at looking at county solutions, to look at ways in which we can actually drill down to solve a national problem at a local level is a really exciting dimension to this project. So I don't want to talk for too long. I'll repeat my thanks, Secretary of State. I think it is really important that we can set an example here that moves forward, that we can demonstrate the industry is prepared to come together and provide solutions to avoid the regulatory burden. And that trust, again, that you've shown in us, that we can say we can do things smarter, don't regulate, give us the chance to demonstrate what we can do, is, I think, a first step in what I hope can be extended to meet many other of the environmental challenges we face in the future. So thank you very much indeed.